going to make plays. We're going to play hard. We're going to do what we got to do. O-line, D-line, toughness, 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 toughness.
Hey, Buckeye Nation. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast, your only commercial-free Ohio State football podcast. These guys were born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your podcast. Now, pour a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick.
What is up? We are back, baby. I haven't done the Frank Costanza in a long time. As always, folks, please rate, review the show, download all that happy shit. Hit the supply store. We still have free shipping going. Not sure how much longer that's going to last. We do have a t-shirt giveaway coming up. We're going to be giving away 3 t-shirts over 3 weeks, so next, probably a week from today. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that happy shit, and get yourself a free t-shirt. Boys, any bourbon? What?
Do you have the t-shirts in stock?
Yeah, every shirt is in stock. You find it on the website, it's ready for shipping.
Nice.
Any bourbon to discuss or talk about?
Not for me. No.
Okay. Abstaining?
Nothing. I working on finishing that bottle of Legend.
Legend?
From about a week ago. A couple weeks ago. Legend. A couple weeks ago. But that's about it. It's good. It's good. I like it.
That's my stuff.
What's that, Shawn? I can't hear you.
That's my stuff. Love the Legend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have begun a full frontal assault on my taste buds and trying to get them back in order because I have decades of drinking that seemingly have gone to waste. I can't really taste any bourbon. I can taste like just, bourbon, but not I still can't taste like the other notes in it, like vanilla or cinnamon. Like Buffalo's like a cinnamon heavy one. Can't fucking taste that shit. So I've been assaulting my tongue with bourbon every day, all day. Not all day, but a large part of the day. So trying to get back in shape. Kind of like think of Rocky Balboa in Rocky 3. So I got.
You catch a chicken, you catch the roots of lightning.
That's soft as shit. Go kiss the model.
What? That's better.
That's much better.
Sorry, fans. Don't buy the Apple AirPod Pros. Piece of shit.
Oh, yeah, I could have told you that. I wasted $200 on those for the old lady. Might as well have kicked them in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, yeah, that's all on the bourbon front for me. I'm just beating the piss out of my taste buds with bourbon. So it's enjoyable, Don't really have any regrets. Hopefully we whip this thing into shape quickly. My kidneys and my liver may have something to say about it. Anyway, Buckeyes roll, obviously, 59. What was it? No, that's not the right fucking score. Who the fuck? Somebody edited my document. 52-13. 52-13. I left the last week's score in there. Buckeyes roll over Rutgers. Rutgers still trying to get that S from Brandon Bean. Guys, what was your one big takeaway? One big thing, Shawn? What'd you take away from that game?
I took a lot. I don't know. It was a great game. It was a game that we needed. I think there's a lot of just weird stuff going around Ohio State right now, at least from the outside. I don't know how it's affecting them inside the Woody. But this last year with the fuck Ohio State, with Stroud's arm and not playing last week and whatnot, I just thought it needed to be a whole team win. I thought the leaders needed to step up and kind of right that ship. And to me, everything was just fucking seamless. my one big disappointment is I don't know how Rutgers shut us out in the fourth quarter. That's bullshit.
Oh.
You know, we need to score one in the fourth.
Yeah.
But no, all around just exactly what I expected, exactly what I wanted. I think I was a little light on the Buckeye score. Maybe on the Scarlet Knights as well. But man, exactly what I wanted to see, especially after I saw Michigan struggle with them. Now, to me, in my mind, it's like, okay, this is how you handle a team with the athletes that we have. So, just to me, a team win.
Yeah. So it looked the way it should have looked in your book.
I think.
Yeah. Jeff, what do you think? What was your one big thing?
I'd say more to C.J. Stroud himself. He looked way more comfortable, way more relaxed. I turned to my wife during the game. I said, "He's not missing early. He's not missing high early." Mm-hmm. He looked different. Look, he was reading his progressions well. It looked like the game was at his speed, not too much. You know, like he was controlling it. Mm-hmm. But it and to piggyback on what Shawn said, it looked the way it should have looked. Like this was a get right game, more so than I think Akron, because Akron doesn't show you anything. But definitely the Tulsa game where we struggled at times. They moved the ball on us pretty freely on offense when we toughen up and get some stops. But this game, defense, offense, everybody, production across the board, scored again on defense. You know, that's crazy. We've been scoring a lot of defensive touchdowns, which is not always the trademark of our defense, you know. So, but great win. But C.J. Stroud looked. I think he looked better, more like in control, I guess, in the pocket and stuff.
Okay.
Just looked better. Like the week really did him good.
Yeah, my one big thing is just one thing, and that's CJ's shoulder, and I think we saw a very different shoulder than we saw the first couple of weeks. I would have loved to have this shoulder in that Oregon game. If we could go back in time and transplant this shoulder that he currently has into that quarterback that played against Oregon. So that was my one big thing, a healthy CJ shoulder.
I'll disagree with you there a little bit, as I'm prone to do.
No.
I don't think that, maybe somewhat, but I don't think the Oregon game was a Stroud shoulder necessarily. I think it was more a confidence and holy shit, I'm in a big time football game for a young kid. But maybe some of both. Anyway,
okay.
On with the show.
All right. Maybe a healthy shoulder gives you a little more confidence, though.
I'm sure.
So, I think the quote of the day has to go post game to our guy Greg Schiano. And I was going to do this entire show with a New Jersey accent, so you guys let me know if you want me to go that route.
No, I think we're good.
No? All right.
I don't know if you can hold it that long, man.
I can hold it.
I have a limited.
I've held bigger things.
Do we got
Trust
a
me.
situation, buddy? You gonna invite the situation on in?
Yeah, we should. Yeah, I should have reached out. I bet he's pretty cheap.
Maybe Vinny. I don't know.
He might. I don't know. He only gets one phone call a day, probably though. So, anyways, the quote of the day was my guy Schiano. Quote.
I like that dude. Anyways, for the record, his defense may have been a little complicated for us. I don't know what that.
It was a problem back in 2018 for sure. Yeah,
but he's a fucking.
If I may get his quote was, "We had a bad day." Captain Obvious, Greg Schiano, never gonna paint something with a broad brush. We just had a bad day. Yeah, sure did, Coach. It was 45-6 at the halftime, you dumb fuck. So,
yeah.
I think going forward, the QB, if there ever was any morons out there in Buckeye Nation that thought there was a QB controversy, please tell me that's squashed now. There is no reason for anybody to say that this is a Kyle McCord, CJ Stroud kind of race. This is
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, right. Did he travel to the game? I don't think he was on the travel roster.
He was there. Oh yeah, I saw him on the
Okay.
sideline. He was dressed. Yeah.
Okay, good. He got to fly.
Yeah, you got to fly and everything. You got
really
to
great.
see the inside of the plane. It's really cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. That is anybody that's trying to keep that above ground is getting stepped on by a million people. I think there's enough of Buckeye Nation to quiet that real quick. You say why we were pissed we didn't score the fourth quarter. Well, that's on. I mean, it's not. I don't want to say this on Kyle McCord. Of course, the game was in such control. We were not trying to score touchdowns. So there was really. I mean, it was like if it happens, it happens. But we weren't really going.
The play calling was definitely dialed back.
Right. So I mean, if they would have, but they had their first team offense in there into the third quarter, almost maybe into the fourth.
Mm-hmm.
So, to give up the late score to them, whatever. But
That's nothing.
no,
I gotta tell you,
I'm happy with the score because we could have. I mean, if we needed to score 70, we could have scored 70.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with the score how it was.
Yeah. Just for the record, so you guys know, I was joking about not scoring in the fourth quarter.
I thought, like we just touched on to get started, we talked about CJ being decisive, accurate, tough, which we hadn't seen. Guy, tucked it and ran a few times. Went 17 of 23, 330 yards, 5 touchdowns. Distributed the ball to 7 guys. I mean, what a great day.
Well, an amazing day, and even some of the drops he had early. Smith Najiba dropped a couple that I think he would normally get. Might have been a little tough and with some pressure there, but yeah, I mean the guy was on all freaking day.
Yep.
And avoided some pressure and got that one out to Olave. It was a sweet run, and yeah, I mean the kid looked great. And I'd say, well, if he did that against Akron, I'd probably be like, who gives a shit? But I just saw these guys give Michigan, a quote unquote top 10 team, all they wanted last week. So
yeah.
Oh, that second half, dude. That second half was every play by play. Like that was Rutgers was right there with them in the second half of that game.
Well, they did only hold us to 1 touchdown in the second half. So
right, but like I said,
against the second and third quarterbacks.
If Shiano was like a total dick to Ryan Day when they were both on staff together, and Ryan Day had some deep down something for him, we could have done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we would have given him 70. I mean,
yeah, we could have hung 70 if Dave was wanting to make a point or something. So, the scores. The score's fine,
Right.
But was it the first 6 touchdowns? 6 different people, right? I think the first 6 went to 6 different players.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
It's just you putting that on film, and then teams are looking at it like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Who scored this one? Who scored this one?
We
Oh yeah.
scored on our first 6 possessions, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, one was a field goal mixed in there, but yeah.
Well, shit, there was 5 minutes gone in the period before we were at 14-0. We ran one play.
Right.
That's beautiful.
And in games like this, I don't mind taking that field goal when you're up. It's not like you're playing at Clemson or Oregon or something. It's like because our field goal kicker, I feel like sometimes doesn't get a ton of work, and then when we need him, when we really need him, it's like I'd say give him a couple. You're
talking right before half, right?
Yarders a game.
Oh, the second drive. He had a field goal.
Was it the second drive? Oh yeah. Okay. But yeah, I mean, get the points. Just get the points. I mean, get something out of it. Don't give. I agree, Shawn. Don't allow a chance for some momentum on the other side, on the home side. You know what I mean? You're on the road. get the points. We got plenty. Coaches knew we got plenty of time to run on these guys. Let's get the points. Great. I mean, I totally agree with the call. You don't have to be super ultra aggressive, go for the jugular every play.
One thing that really stood out to me watching the game and rewatching it again today a couple times is third down conversions. We've struggled this year as an offense, and yesterday we were 8 of 13. That's a nice solid percentage, and you could feel that those conversions, which obviously led to scores in most cases, but those were huge. I mean, it seemed like we've struggled with that thus far in the season. It seems like a 3rd and 5 are like biting our nails. Where Saturday it was convert, big play to Wilson over the middle, or Treveyon goes for 6 or something like that. So I thought those third down conversions were something that really stood out because we just haven't done it, successfully, consistently.
Right. Yeah, I did notice there was a lot more. I'm watching the game right now. I'm looking at there was a 2nd and 4. We got a first down. Now there's a 2nd and 1. Run to Treveyon and get stuff.
We were always staying ahead of the chain.
Right.
Exactly.
Finally,
we were in a lot of bad spots.
It seems like the first game all season where there weren't those anxious moments every 3 plays. Like, fuck, now we got converted 3rd and 6 again. Why are we always in 3rd and 6?
Right.
It seemed like the first game where it was not stressful from the first quarter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Great game, and that goes to the offensive line. It was good to see Thayer Mumford back out there, moving around. He looked like he was moving pretty well. Matt Jones still getting a lot of playing time too.
He deserves it. I like Matt Jones.
He does. I
just don't know.
Beat,
it's hard to squeeze him in there.
Yeah, but he's the 6th. He's the 6th man. They're gonna rotate guys, and I think all that work they did in the summer, getting all the when they decided to move, shuffle people around.
Yeah,
I think that brought the whole group into learning all the spots. So
they finally also have some really good depth in the O-line room. As a whole,
depth. They can play multiple positions.
Right. Yeah. We're not waiting on a Brandon Bowen. If he gets hurt, then what do we do? Kind of situation. We've got multiple guys that can step in, and I know everybody likes to shit on Stud a lot on his recruiting front, but they've really put in an effort to bolster that room. What about my guy, former walk-on Mitch Rossi, Janice R. Rossi, Mitch Rossi with the touchdown. In 4R.
So I just let you know you have a whore in there. Yeah, Mitch Rossi, man. I forgot he was a former walk-on.
Yeah,
but dude, they play all them tight ends. I love seeing 5 different tight ends in the game at different times.
It was a nice game for the tight end. I thought they really made an effort to focus on that.
Yeah.
Maybe they saw something on the tape, but. Yeah, you had a bunch of different tight ends getting some action and seeing some time there, which was, hey, right on. And, that's how you get tight end recruits, too.
Sure.
We need the dudes.
Back to that Rossi's his touchdown. That should have went to Teague because he was.
Well, that was a great play call. I'll give Ryan Day props on that one.
I think the first one would have went to him, but then when it didn't go right, he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna go to this." No, it was a great play call. Teague deserved that touchdown, though. You know what I mean? He just.
I rewatched that play, and
you want to get the guy rewarded for that.
Rossi sells that play so well.
Yeah,
he does. You're right.
And block, and he kind of freezes that linebacker or safety, whoever it is, and because they think he's coming to block them, and then he runs out there. It's well played by him. He deserved that for sure.
It's just that split second. You say that hesitation just to get him to put his feet still, and then you can beat him. I'm sure that's a timing thing that they work on. But that's why he's on the field, because he probably executes that perfect every time in practice.
So I got a beef with Ryan Day, basically putting the kibosh on Treveyon's Heisman campaign Saturday. Only giving the guy 8 carries. Said it was his decision to hold him out in the second half. He was ready to go. I just felt like I didn't want to take a chance going into the second half. The fuck does that mean?
Dinged.
Oh, fuck. Give him 5 carries. You know he's going to score a touchdown in 5 carries. We've got to bolster these numbers. We've got to pump them up. We're trying to win trophies here.
I had a conversation about this, and I actually like what Ryan Day is doing in that regard to some extent. I see your text. I see your point. I think Treveyon Henderson could be a Heisman-level kid. But we've got a lot of dudes, and I'm not saying, hey, we need to have a loyalty factor or whatnot, but a lot of dudes that have put in a lot of time in there, and if they're not going to get on the field now because you're just trying to pump one kid's stats, it's like, if I'm fucking Mayan or Crowley or these guys, like, hey, you know what? I'm out here busting my ass every day too, and I'm not going to get in when it's 35 to nothing. Then I mean, what am I even doing here? So I love the fact that they split it up. I think that I think that Treveyon would have got a lot more carries had this game been close.
But Shawn,
it wasn't.
Shawn,
I'm fine with spreading the wealth.
Those guys are not sitting on a plus 6,600 Treveyon for Heisman ticket like I am. Okay, let's fucking deal in reality and facts.
Hey, don't kid yourself with the NIL money. They might have a little extra money to be thrown around.
Yeah, right. They might have actually put more on it than I did, but
I think in the day of the transfer portal that it's also kind of an important thing because
I get it.
If you're Mayan Williams and you're not going to get me in there, if you're Crowley, it's like, all right, I'm gone, man. I mean, what am I doing here? I can go play somewhere. So I think a smart coach in today's football has to take those things into consideration if he wants to keep his roster together.
Yeah, I know. I was really hoping that Treveyon would have a crack at the Heisman.
Oh, I know.
I'm not sure he does.
I'd love for him to get 25 carries and have 400 yards and 5 touchdowns because he could have done that.
Oh yeah. You could turn around and had Jack Miller or Kyle McCord hand off to him the entire second half and let him go for 300.
Well, I was a little bit worried too because I was kind of getting ahead of myself on Henderson going into this game with some Michigan boys up here. Because Rutgers pretty much shut down their Blake Corum,
right?
Their Haskins, whatever the hell his name is.
Haskins.
And I said, well, guess what? They ain't going to shut down my guy.
No.
He's different than your guys.
Or our 3 guys.
Right. So
Joe, what was the rushing total for yesterday? I'm sorry to interrupt.
As a team?
I thought you were done.
No, I'm
Yeah, the team. What did we finish with? I don't know if you had it in front of you right now.
Yeah, I do actually. We went for 208.
Okay. Ryan Day said he typically would like to go 250 to 250.
Mm-hmm.
But we scored on one play. We were up 14-0 after one play offense. So time of possession, all that stuff was probably looking kind of whacked out in the first half too.
Well, a lot of big pass plays, short throws that turned into big plays equals 333 passing yards as a team. So
right. So we were over what we were at 3. We were at 3 something in total offense in the first half, almost 400.
Sure.
And that was with slamming on the brakes midway through the third quarter.
Right.
Sure. And we just coasted. Yeah. So I understand, Joe, if you got money on his Heisman odds, I wouldn't have went with him at all. But even maybe 6,600, that's probably good value. But he's a freshman. He's not gonna. I mean, we got him for 2 more years. Now
exactly.
next year's like I would buy some futures on him right now on next year. But Ryan Day knows what he has. He's got this brand new fucking badass Ferrari, brand new. I'm gonna ride it when I need to. When he'll get more carries in the games he needs to. I guarantee that Ryan Day is thinking, we're up 49 points. We can just sit him out. We don't need him now. We're going to need him later.
All of our running backs are fresh as daisies, man.
Yeah, and with Shawn, everything you're saying about transfer portal and all that stuff, that all plays into the exact reason why he can sit him down. It's like there's too many reasons why he should. It would be crazy for him.
I would get a little pissed off if I only got 8 carries a couple weeks in a row.
If Treveyon Henderson's mad as a true freshman, getting only 8 carries a game, but scoring touchdowns and being the man and getting all this hype, but still be pissed off about only 8 carries, well, then fucking let him go.
Some players might. Some players might.
Yeah, if somebody like that could nuke the whole goddamn program. If somebody was acting that crazy as a true freshman, hit the bricks, dude. I mean, we'll get another one.
And everyone knows, so it's a stupid conversation. Everyone knows there's one kid in the running back room that is not going to transfer. There's zero chance of him transferring, and that's Treveyon Henderson. Everybody else is a transfer risk. Treveyon is not.
Okay.
It's Treveyon's school. He knows it. He's the guy, and it's his thing going forward. He's not going to be, leading in the top 2 of the Big Ten as a freshman at Ohio State and act like Ohio State owes him something more. No way. And like you said, if he's that big of an asshole when we got all these other guys, then
yeah. I mean, I couldn't imagine a kid as a true freshman being like that. Like, you're only going to give me 8 carries? Coach, I need more touches or I'm out of here. I'm sure Ryan Day would probably even say,
do you wonder that's what's going on with Mayan?
What is going on?
Maybe. I don't know. I was going to ask. My next thing I wanted to get to was we saw a lot of Crowley and zero Mayan.
Well, I think Mayan was on the unavailable report.
Was he?
But that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean injury. He could have had another bad week of practice. Like, that's why they didn't give him the ball last week. They said he didn't practice well. So, I mean, you got, the coaches can use 50 fucking reasons that none of them mean anything to us.
And none of them tell you anything. Right.
Exactly.
And that's why that was my only gripe with the program in general. Really, as a program whole, because I don't think it's all just Ryan Day, but
on the whole,
there's no information. Why is Mayan Williams? Mayan Williams he started the season as the starting running back, right? Mm-hmm. And then he just doesn't show up for 2 games. But nobody tells us that there's an injury he's working through during the week. Yeah. What are people's?
It could be a suspension
on Twitter.
I mean, it could be a range of things.
Well, that's like people like us and other people following the program, so they get on Twitter. Why is Mayan down? And then
where's Nevada Buck when we need him? God damn it! I need some nuggets.
Goddamn hey. but that's how rumors will start because nobody has any information. Start making shit up.
That was his fucking wheelhouse.
He probably failed a drug test or something. You know what I mean? Like,
could be anything.
People would just be doing random. You can just talk random shit.
Yeah. Well, the coaches opened that door by not giving us information.
Yeah, if they just gave us some, not just, mine's not available, 2 hours before the game. What the fuck? So what do you expect people to do? People are just going to start making assumptions. It's natural. Tell us a little bit more so people aren't going crazy on, social media and making it a big deal if it's not really a big deal. But it was weird. It was odd that he wasn't dressed, wasn't nothing. Right. I didn't see him at all.
He might not even traveled.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, he started the season as your running back. He's presumably healthy because we didn't see him get injured.
I don't think he played his way out of that position.
Well, Marcus Crowley was working. I mean, we saw Crowley in the second quarter, I think. Maybe the first quarter.
That was the first quarter. But anyways, so we gotta kind of give the offense a break, and we got to flip it over to the D. We haven't really talked about the D in detail. I got to tell you, I got 2 guys right now. Who would be your defensive MVP, Shawn?
I like this.
Rocket.
Yeah.
Ronnie Hickman, man. I think Ronnie Hickman has been all over the field all year making plays more than anyone.
Right.
I got to go with Hickman.
Okay, Jeff. Who's your MVP on defense to this point?
I would lean Hickman, if not Haskell.
Oh, okay.
But I'm super excited about this defense. A lot more. I feel a lot better than I did 2 weeks ago. Denzel Burke is.
You got to pick one. You can't have five.
All right. Well, I mean, I think Hickman's the key to the defense, so I'd probably go Hickman too. He's been most consistent.
Yeah, he's led the team in tackles thus far, and Burke has been a pleasant surprise at corner. Yes. I agree. I'm a huge Cody Simon fan, and I know he's playing. He's been playing injured since week 1. I want to see him healthy and see what he can do. I think those 3 guys you can't lose with as far as your MVP choice. But I agree, Hickman. I was skeptical at first, so I'm like, this guy's not real big, you know. He's coming out leading the team in tackles against Minnesota and shit. And I'm like, wow, 11 tackles, Jesus Christ! And he does it again. It's like this guy is in on every play, you know. He's like a ball hawk, gets the pick, you know. So yeah, I gotta think Hickman is the overwhelming MVP on defense, and we're seeing some great play. I mean, they're still playing 1,000 fucking guys on that side of the ball. I realize it helps that there's a blowout, but Cam Martinez is flashing too. His best play to this point, in my opinion, you guys might disagree, but I think his heads up play on that fake punt in the first quarter was awesome.
Yep. Where he dropped that.
Yes, yeah, he should have had it, but at least he was there and he was heads up, like he knew something was up and read it, dropped the pass, of course, but still, man, made the play. He's better off dropping that anyways because you would have lost 10, 20 yards.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a big Cam Martinez.
I'm replaying.
I think he's going to find his way on the field sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah, I'm really happy with him. He's flashing. You know, obviously he had to pick 6 before. So, yeah. On the defensive side of the ball, we are so fucking young. Take the front, I guess your front 4 out of it, your D-line, other than Tyleek. You're pretty young everywhere else, you know. And these guys are coming together. I'm impressed. I was super concerned after the Oregon game, and now I'm starting to feel a lot better. But hey, you got to put it together every week. So final score predictions, I'm going to go ahead and toot my own horn because I had 44-13. Shawn, you had 38-17, and Jeff, you had 38-13. Did not have a huge lean on the Buckeye offense, unfortunately.
I wasn't sure. You know, my thought was, I don't know we don't know if Stroud's coming back. I figured Rutgers was going to play super inspired. You know what I mean? Like, throw the kitchen sink at us like they did last year. Yeah. The game, we picked 6 and then we hit that touchdown run first play. And the game completely different. I'm watching the game right now. I just saw Garrett cut that crossing pattern and skate up the sideline. Our athletes were on full display. I wasn't sure if they would be. I wasn't sure if our quarterback situation was going to be distributing properly. And he did. He looked great. Stroud looked great, and athletes shine.
Right. Okay. So let's get into this Maryland game coming up on Saturday.
I like turtles.
Big noon on Fox, your big noon kickoff. So you got Mike Loxley, suck my Loxley. They're coming in 4-1. So these guys, they beat up on some clowns here. 1-1 in the Big Ten. Week 1, they beat West Virginia. They've beaten Howard. Sure. They've beaten Illinois, Kent State.
Howard.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But then they got smoked Friday by Iowa.
I watched that game. That game was domination.
Yep. Iowa likes to pick it. They like to pick the ball. Too bad you can't plan on that every week. But they scored 30.
They're a handful, though.
They scored 31 points in the second quarter of that game. Jesus Christ.
Well, the guy
Holy
had 6 picks.
Yeah. Talia.
Yeah. Yeah, he had 5 of them. So anyway, yeah, he was having a good season up until that point. I mean, he has 12 touchdowns on the year. Now he has 6 picks total, 1,500 yards passing. That Iowa game really will put a damper on that INT category. What?
But they're going to toss it around.
Yeah. They're running backs.
Up or down, it don't matter.
Yeah, they're not running the ball extremely well. I mean, their top running back, Tyon Fleet Davis, has 330 yards, 4 touchdowns on the year. And then they just lost their best receiver, Dante Demas Jr. He had looked like a hyperextended knee. Basically, his leg went backwards.
That was sick.
Yeah,
that was sick. I saw that play. Oh, I kind of turned my stomach a little bit. It looked real bad.
Right.
Hopefully, that dude's all right, man. That looked bad.
They do have Rakeem Jarrett. I mean, we're familiar with him in the recruiting circuit. And also, they've really improved.
Not overly impressed with him.
Demas was the bell cow from a receiver point of view, but their recruiting classes are getting better, man. I'm telling you. Going back to 2019, they were 47th. 2020, they were 31st. And then last year, 2021, they were 18th. And they got a 5-star in 2020 and in 2021. So a 5-star each recruiting cycle there. So that might start paying dividends for old Loxley here in the next couple of years. Kind of surprised that they vaulted all the way up to 18th last year in recruiting.
Good for them. Urban Meyer said it when he took over at Ohio State in 2012. This whole conference needs to get better at recruiting. Everybody needs to get better. We definitely do to build what we want, but we need everybody else here too. I'm glad that Rutgers and Maryland they're making strides. You see improvement. I think Rutgers is still the real deal. They're going to give everybody a pain in the ass this year, I think. Mm-hmm. Unless their depth is just completely wiped out by injury. But Maryland's saying get that talent in there. They're not going to beat us out for kids. Maybe those DC kids, if they can keep some of them at home.
Yeah, they get a few of them now.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
they keep that DMV area. If they can lock that down and not let the 5-stars get out, but everybody takes 5-stars out of that area. We've taken a handful. Florida State used to be real big, going up, getting 5-stars out of that area.
Right.
Up there.
Yep.
So if they can keep some of them, that's good. I mean, we need them ranked when we beat them, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, well, we need everybody ranked apparently, but
they got
offense,
their asses kicked Friday night though. Friday night they got beat up.
Yeah. This offense scores 33 points a game, puts up 470 yards per game. I realize that some of these stats are padded against teams like Howard and Illinois and Kent State, but they like to whip it around. They got 8 returning starters. Again, I go back to my super senior theory of all these teams bringing back 6-year guys, and getting quality
mostly
play
on the line, probably mostly on the O-line.
Maybe,
yeah.
Defense, these guys give up 21 points a game, 345 yards a game, 9 returning starters. I think that's where a lot of times you see the returning, super senior guys make their impact. But downside, they give up 6.4 yards per play, and their third down percentage is 34%. So as an offense, you're hitting at a 66% conversion rate on third down, which the Buckeyes are improving on. So linebackers, they got a stud. I never even heard of this guy, Darrell Nchami, 16 TFLs on the season already.
Wow.
And they got two DBs, both with two INTs. We remember Nick Cross from recruiting a few years ago, and Jacorian Bennett has 2 picks as well. So a couple playmakers there. Not a tremendous slouch. So some interesting points there. I think that 6.4 yards per play, it could be the death of them. You guys have any input on this defense?
I think that you keep Tagovailoa, a lot of pressure on him. I guess he's proven to make bad decisions. If you do that, you still got to worry about him. He's an athletic guy, so make sure you're mirroring him with Simon or something to handle any tricky business he wants to pull. But I think we can put him in bad spots, and you're gonna have to continue. It's all gonna be how he plays. If he doesn't throw the 5 picks or whatever, that's a whole different game. We're just gonna have to force him to do that. Our D's playing lights out and going for balls right now, so I'm expecting a couple picks forced that kid at least.
I know when you love guys that are going for balls, Shawn, and that's a great point. But what do you guys think on this? Let's go microscopes right now while we're talking dudes on dudes. Jeff, what do you have on offense for the Buckeyes?
We're probably not going to feature the tight end 2 weeks in a row. Maryland's going to sling it all over the place. Possibly we might get into a track meet. I'm going to go back to my pick again, Chris Olave.
3 weeks in a row, huh?
I love it.
Did you see? You remember that catch he made in the first quarter? That 1 foot toe tap?
That was sick.
Yep.
Jesus Christ, that was gorgeous. I was rewatching the game right now. I'll just watch it again.
And then that run is 1 touchdown run where he just, he's smooth.
Yeah.
He makes people look stupid.
It's
too sweet.
Garrett's such a threat everywhere. He's great. Anytime you can get him the ball, and he's got a yard in between him and somebody, because
he's got some
can make shit happen. He's awesome. Olave it's different. It's just as effective. It's different, and it's joy to watch. How smooth and how slick. He's slick with everything.
It's like watching Ken Griffey Jr. swing. That's what watching Olave is like. And Garrett might even be more talented and more of a beast, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's Griffey's swing, man. It is. It's a thing of beauty.
Yeah, Griffey's swing looks so smooth, just perfect. But he's hitting a ball that's going 115 miles an hour off. He's hitting the ball 150 miles an hour. It's perfect, but it's super powerful.
So
Chris Olave. I mean,
Shawn,
I expect the same thing. I mean, we're gonna start passing the ball, and Olave is gonna do Olave things.
Shawn, who do you have on offense? You want Olave too?
No, I'm not taking Olave. I would, but you're kind of pressuring me because I love taking Treveyon Henderson. I took him last week.
Yeah.
Didn't I?
You did, yes.
All right, I'll go deep outside here. I think this game's going to get a bit out of hand, and I think you're wrong, Jeff. I think the tight end is going to continue to be featured.
Ooh.
And I saw some things that they were doing with Gee Scott, even splitting him out. Gee Scott's my guy this week. Look for him to have his first touchdown.
Okay. Go G. Very nice. I like those choices. I'm gonna. I had CJ last week, and that kind of worked out. It did okay. I'm not going to dip too far into the well, but I am going to take my guy Treveyon in our Heisman campaign, because I apparently am the only one leading it. I'm going Treveyon. It's my Heisman campaign, yes. I'm leading Treveyon's Heisman campaign because obviously Ryan Day doesn't want any part of it.
Joe, guess what? I think we're going to win by like 35 points, and he's going to have 9 more carries this week. I hope you don't fucking.
He might go for 3 touchdowns with those 9 fucking carries.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be awesome. He's going to go in and get 9 carries. A couple other guys are going to get 9 carries. They're going to end up with 200, 250 yards rushing. Probably 3 rushing touchdowns.
It's going to be fucking awesome. Great. Yeah.
And you know what? And by the time we get like November 2nd, November 13th, we're going to have 3 fresh running backs. At least 3. Because maybe one's injured, but right now we have 4.
Now you don't know who's going to be on that availability report, though.
At least 3 of them. I know at least 3 of them will be, right?
Yeah. Right.
But Marcus Crowley ran a wheel route they put him on in this game. He looked good. He's healthy. He's a good 3rd running back. I'll take that.
Sure. He's got great hands.
And if he's a 4th, that's
well, let's go to defense then, Jeff. Who do you have on your microscopes for this game?
Well, they're going to be slinging it, right? They're not.
Yep.
They're probably going to be down, and that wouldn't matter if they were up. They're still going to be throwing. So, our corners. I tell you what I want to see a big change, and I want to see a whole adjustment to Seven Banks. I think he's right now. I think he's playing like our 4th best corner.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I would not start him. I would start. I think Denzel Burke and Cam Brown are our starting corners. Seven Banks needs to win back a starting job.
Seven
Seven
got jobbed on that pass interference.
That was bullshit. Yeah,
he did, but
that
he's
was
out
not
of
even
position a lot
catchable.
of times. I don't hate the kid. He's from Orlando. I'm a big fan of his.
Well, Cam Brown's injured, dude.
He's not playing. Okay. Well, then I don't know. I don't know if he's earned that starting job. That's all I'm saying. He looks like he's out of position a lot of times.
Okay. So who are you going with?
I mean, my focus is on him.
Okay.
Spotlight.
Okay.
Seven Banks. Start playing like a first-round draft pick that people were projecting him as.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Start showing it.
Yeah.
It's time to show it. You're going to have good receivers over there. You're going to have NFL talent over there.
Mm-hmm.
Show it. Show it if you're real. Show it.
Shawn, who do you have on defense?
I was going to put it on my boy Ronnie, but you don't need to put a spotlight on him because he's all over the field. You see him. You see him on every
yeah, you see him immediately. Right. He flashes. Right.
So I'm going to take your boy Simon, Joe, and I think that he's going to I think a lot of the responsibility to keep the quarterback shadowed or whatever is going to rely on him. So I'm expecting him to have a day. If he has a big day, our defense shuts these guys down.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go JTT. I think he's been getting a ton of snaps lately. And I don't think he got the start last week. He might have the week before, but I'm going JTT. I think there's going to be plenty of opportunity with Talia, that girl, at quarterback, dropping back, and I think JTT is going to be in his fucking ass all day. So I'm going JTT on defense, and maybe he gets his first sack. So let's get into our final score predictions. Let's start with you, Jeff. Buckeyes favored by 19.5, over-under of 67.5 as of right now.
Ooh, with the hook. That's at the 19's trouble line.
Yeah,
all right, so we'll give him 20 points. I think Maryland hits the paint a couple times. Go 17 for Maryland. Let's go 52. Let's go 52 again, Ohio State.
Oh.
52-17.
Interesting. Okay. 52-17. Mark it down.
Seven touchdowns in the field goal. Bang, bang, boom.
Mm-hmm. Sean, what do you think?
I was going to go with that same 52. Just because the way I think it could be higher, but the way that the Buckeyes seem to lay off a little bit late, I think 52 is kind of the tops that we're going to score against anyone against Michigan, unless we have to score that many points, God forbid. But yeah, I'm going to go Buckeyes in a blowout on this one.
52-10. I'm probably getting a little excited about the defense, but I don't think they're going to be able to do much. I think it's going to be a problem for them. They haven't played anybody like us.
That's very
no. Talia showed a lot of problems when he had pressure. He did. I mean, Iowa made them look elementary, and that Raheem Jarrett was. He didn't impress me at all, and they just looked like they couldn't handle the pressure that defense presented to them. Like a real defense, they're like, oh shit, these guys actually can cover us. And I think they're going to get more of that from Ohio State. Yeah. Well, yeah. I would be shocked if he's back next week.
No,
dude, his leg
he got carted off. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
I'm going to go.
Jared's. You go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
I'm going to go 59-13. I think the Buckeyes squeeze in an extra touchdown. I think maybe the second and third teamers get in there and lay it on them. And I think they're going to – the second and third team Buckeyes are going to hear it in practice this week for not putting up any fucking points against Rutgers. So I think they're going to be motivated as a second and third unit. And I think they're going to make their presence felt in the fourth quarter after we're up big, obviously. So 59-13, mark it down.
So no confidence. Nobody really has much confidence in Maryland's offense to score points. I was thinking Shawn. I thought
Jeff, you gave him 17.
Shawn, I gave him 17. I thought Shawn was going to go to 24. I mean, I could see them getting 24 points on the board because they're going to sling it 60 times. You know, that's what I'm guessing.
2 weeks ago, I would have given you 24. Like I said, I'm being optimistic about the defense. I think we turned the corner, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Over under on turnovers forced by us. What do you say? I'll put it at 2.5. Over under.
I'll take the over.
Oh yeah.
You take over 3. Okay.
I was going to put the line at 3.
Yeah. I might.
All right. Let's.
I just think I think they're going to chuck it around. We're going to take it away. If we can get the pressure, like we did this week, get on Talia, he's going to chuck the ball around. He's not super. He's a small dude. He's small, like skinny small.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have much to him. We can force some fumbles and we get in that backfield.
I think INTs are more the avenue. Shawn and I were thinking.
We get the rush going around, the strip sack fumbles. I mean,
I think there'll be a little bit of it. I think 2 picks, 2 fumbles, what I'm expecting.
All right, I like that. So let's talk Week 5. A lot of awesome games on Saturday. I had to spend most of today going back and rewatching some of them that I didn't see. 5.
I tried like hell last night. I was up to like 1 o'clock trying to go on a DVR. I fell asleep during LSU Auburn. It was a horrible offense to watch.
Oh, why did you waste your life like that?
That was 5, the last game. I'd seen the rest.
5 of the top 12 teams lost yesterday.
Yeah.
Let's start with Michigan at Wisconsin. Turned out to be kind of a blowout. Wisconsin scored late to make it close-ish. I don't know. So 38-17, Wisconsin favored by 1. I didn't like that spread the entire time. I
told you Michigan was going to win the game, didn't I?
I don't know.
I believe I had that.
Okay.
I think you did, Jeff. I want to say that's a quality win, but I mean Wisconsin's 1-3. They do not look good.
They're bad.
Their offense is dog shit.
Dude,
dog shit.
Look at their secondary. You think they're better? They're fucking horrific.
I mean, their run defense. I mean, Wisconsin is only they're living. They have a run defense that's respectable, but that's it. The rest of what you normally think of Wisconsin, they don't have. They just have a good run defense.
Graham Mertz is
trash.
Yeah,
trash, bro.
He might be worse than Jack Cohn. For reals.
I love your text Saturday afternoon. I'm out working, right? I'm knee deep in fucking dirt digging trench lines for irrigation. I get a text. I look over and it says Jack Cohn doing Graham Mertz things. And I'm like, oh fuck. I was like, now I know how both games are going.
Right. Yeah, we can blend right into that one. Notre Dame getting worked by Cincy. Turned out to be a little bit of a ball game late. Cincy favored on the road at Notre Dame, but
took it to them from the start.
Oh yeah, they were up by 17 most of the game.
Yeah. I mean, the game. I thought when I saw it, the game was in hand, but yeah, I figured Notre Dame would keep it close. But I had confidence that Cincinnati was going to win that game. They got better quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, Cone got knocked out too.
Cincy's quarterback's solid.
He is.
But Ritter's a pro. That's what everybody says that. So good for Cincinnati, man. That's what I was rooting for. I'll root for Luke Fickell anytime.
And who knew that Drew Brees went to Notre Dame? I could have swore he played for Purdue in college. Blew my mind. Those guys on NBC really like to swallow that shamrock, don't they?
That Golden Dome. Oh, la, la.
Good God.
Hey, but you know what? That's their bell cow. That's their only look into Saturdays.
I know.
You know,
I get it.
So,
I mean, they signed the contract, so I don't feel bad.
Yeah, and NBC wants Notre Dame more than Notre Dame wants them. I think.
Well, guess
Notre
what?
Dame would be open to sign with anybody.
They're going to be broadcasting maybe a New Year's Six game at best this year because it won't be a playoff game. We got to mix in Penn State. Penn State is scaring the shit out of me. They whitewashed Indiana 24-0. That was never even a ball game. Started off slow. Penn State was up like 14-0, but Michael Pennis is not good. I don't know. I don't know why.
No.
I think Jack Tuttle should be their quarterback, personally.
That's funny. I played softball with a guy named Jack Tuttle. Great ball player. But Indiana's not good. They're not. I mean, that's not a quality win. You know, I mean, what Indiana did last season is zero bearing on what's going on. They're Indiana. They're regular old Indiana, like Illinois. You know what I mean? So what they did to Indiana, that shouldn't really scare us. But the way Penn State's playing though, Joe, I got you. That's a real team. I thought they were going to be way down this year. Like I didn't think they had any juice, any momentum, nothing. You know, but then they're legit. Their defense is legit.
Their defense seems better this year than it was.
Yeah.
With Micah Parsons and Jason Owe and those guys.
That's funny. They had two great pros on that defense. Well, then Parsons didn't play, and it's like they just had like that cloud. Like they let all the outside shit like pollute them last year, and now it's all gone, and they're playing defense. So that's gonna be a hell of a game in the horseshoe.
So Shawn, did you see?
You got the.
Good.
Yeah, what they're gonna have to. They'll have to play Michigan and Sparty, I don't know. When do we play Penn State?
Oh, it's late. It's
almost Penn State, Michigan, and then there's a break somewhere in there. But I think those three.
We play
in that stretch, isn't it?
Yeah, we play them all in October. I'm sorry, November. I mean, we go October 30th. Penn State comes to town. Then
Halloween.
Then the last 2 weeks of we got IU the week before that. We got them in 2 weeks. Yeah. The 23rd, 30th. That's 3 weeks. So we got a bye in there somewhere between Maryland and IU. Yeah, we got the bye. Yep. Then we got Penn State, Nebraska, Purdue, Michigan State, Michigan.
Okay. That's right. Purdue and Nebraska are after Penn State.
Shawn, what do you think about the Oregon Ducks? You like them?
What the fuck?
I mean, I know that I'm actually happy about that. That they lost. I think that gives us a better chance of getting in, I feel.
Well, they only dropped to 8 in today's AP poll, so somewhat surprising. But we were only at
where are we
7.
ranked?
We're at 7.
So we're ahead of them.
But
our loss is better than theirs, I guess.
Apparently.
And I figure we'll stay ahead of them the rest of the year because we're going to have some better wins in our future than them if we can win out. We'll end up with a Penn State, Iowa, Michigan State on the resume that are all top 11 right now.
Yeah.
Oregon's not going to be able to put together a resume like that.
I do have a gift for you guys.
That's true.
I got you guys something very special. I wanted to give it to you now. Clemson Tigers out of the AP Top 25 for the first time since 2014. How does that sound?
It sounds like the rest of my life prior to 2014. Clemson not a non-factor.
Yeah. They fought off Boston College at home in South Carolina, 19-13.
All their games are ball games.
They are.
Hey, that was one of the games I was burning through the DVR on. Jeff Hafley is going to get another job real quick.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a
that kid.
Southern
that dude is sharp.
There's a Southern California phone number lighting up on his phone right now.
Right? He's a Northeast dude, but he seems like he could fit that Cali vibe. But he's business, man. He's a good coach. He's a real good coach. I was impressed with him when he was with us. But yeah, Boston College gave them everything they wanted.
Yeah, he took him to down to the wire last year.
Mm-hmm. Teams fight. He doesn't have much talent.
He's got a garbage roster, man.
Yeah, and their quarterback left and went to Oregon.
Exactly.
Yeah. But they fight, and Clemson does dog shit too. I can't believe their defense doesn't allow them to dominate more games. Or I don't know. Like, how does their offense get that bad? Like, how did you lose? You lost Lawrence and Etienne.
Their O-line is weak as fuck.
And that's it, really?
That's it.
And
the O-line is weak.
You lost.
The leads are weak.
They got 5 stars on that O-line, by the way. All right, you know what I mean? It's like they're starting 5. It's not like they just had a dip in recruiting. Look, I know Putnam is a 5-star. I'm pretty sure.
They lost that Breezy on D-line, too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the rest of their D-line, they got 2 more 5-stars on that starting D-line.
Yeah, that's not those two positions. The O-line, D-line are not the reason that they suck. I think their quarterback is terrible. I don't know. Maybe the OC is not calling a good game. Yeah. Well, everybody wanted to give him the Heisman last year when he put up 300 against Notre Dame, and it's like, okay, let's relax. I wasn't like overly impressed by that, but coming into this year, I'm like, well, our dude can play. Like, they know he can play. Like, I wasn't expecting like Heisman, but I expected, like when we saw DJ play 2 games, he looked legit in those 2 games. Clemson's going to be there. Well,
The
funny thing is, they don't have any other options. They don't have an option. Same with Alabama.
They had quarterbacks transfer. That Hunter Johnson.
Yeah,
he was a 5-star. He transferred out because
he would have been gone by now. Anyways, that was years ago. But
no. He's fucking playing at Northwestern, isn't he?
Is he still? Okay. Well, all right.
It's the dude on whatever. Maybe that's not his name. If it is, I misspoke. But the guy, I think he left Clemson, and now and then he lost the job at Northwestern. So what does that tell you? Yeah. 5-star out of Clemson, goes to Northwestern, transfers, and then loses the job there.
So we got Oklahoma survives another nail biter. Seems to be another. They're like a mirror image of Clemson, just with different color jersey, I guess. Really, they go 37-31. Yeah, against K-State. K-State got fucking screwed in the third quarter, I believe it was, on an onside kick. The kicker basically kicked it 10 yards and recovered it himself. Kicked it straight ahead. You know how they do that move? They reviewed it and gave it to Oklahoma. I was like, oh my God. It went 10 yards. He didn't touch it prior to the 10 yards. It went like 10 and a half, maybe 11 yards. He recovered it himself, Fucking Christ. These referees are garbage in every conference. I can't just put it on the Big 12. We see it in the SEC. We see it in the Big 10. Fucking trash. Not just these targeting calls, but they can't even review a fucking play right. Jesus.
I agree. I did not see that one game I was not able to watch fully, but the targeting calls, I see those all the time. And
they got to change that. I've had it enough.
I don't know what it is or not, because I saw 3 plays just watching games. I'm like, oh, that's targeting. Oh, that's targeting. Oh, that's targeting. Oh, that's taunting. Oh, that's taunting. By the way the new rules were explained, I saw Alabama tight end catch the ball in the end zone. Dude's like running towards him. He's like a yard or 2 away from him. He points right in dude's face. And I thought, well, by the way the new rules, that should be 15 yards, right? No, they didn't even call it. I'm like, it was so obvious. It was the guy that scored a touchdown. Like,
Marcus Williamson better watch it because,
yes,
a little bit in your face.
Right.
He tried to stand over the guy and flex, like pose on him.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta use your fucking head, man. You gotta.
Well, there's a reason why he's not getting a lot of playing time, I think. Not just the youth movement, and playing the best guy, but he's been around a long time and hasn't seen a lot of the field.
He's like is he our only super senior? Like that took the 6th year or the 5th year?
There's a few, but still, there's a reason why he's down the depth chart, So we got to talk about
what he did.
What?
Sorry, he did make some good tackles, some good open field tackles, made some plays yesterday. I didn't see him get beat, but yeah, he's not even. You can't count on him because you don't see him for 2 games. Then he makes a few plays, and then you don't see him. So
the flip side of that is, I feel like our defense has been a little soft, and if he's going to lead being nasty, making everybody a little bit nasty, then I'm kind of all for it too.
Yeah,
but don't be stupid and cost your team, because if I was a ref, I would have thrown the flag.
Mr. Williamson, if you're nasty.
Yeah, we had 2 of them last week. Remember, with the throat slash from Mike Hall, right, and the standover flexing.
Yep.
Just, they're going to call it, man. Just don't do it. Just, you got to know.
It's going to come with youth. I mean, young guys are going to do that. To have a 5th year or a 6th year guy doing that just shows you they're a fucking moron, Yeah. And they can't control their emotions. So, all right, we got a few games.
There's ways to do it without doing it, obviously. There's ways to do it.
Yeah, we got a few games here in Week 6 to talk about. It's not as great of a slate as Week 5, but we've got a few big ones here. Number 1 on my book is Penn State at Iowa. Iowa favored by 2.5. Over under is a whopping 42.5. So,
I like the under.
I like the under.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You guys see a defensive struggle, huh? Like a 13-10 kind of game?
Yeah.
Yeah, 17-13, maybe, something like that. So you might look at it 17-20.
What about Shawn Clifford against that Iowa defense? You think he can run a little bit?
He's getting better. He looks better.
Yeah.
The more you see him, like
his arm's not going to wow you, but he's making good decisions. He's not, turning the ball over. Yeah, like last year, you figured like he was just a mess. Like, this ball's getting picked off, or he's going to fumble something. He's going to fuck it up. But I think their defense can keep him close. If he can make a few plays, get Dotson on a 1-on-1, jump ball type play. Mm-hmm.
Man, that's going to be at Kinnick. Is it what time is that game? Is that at night?
No.
That's not the prime
4
time game.
o'clock. It's a weird 4 o'clock start time.
On Fox? They didn't want it to be the big noon?
Oh, the Buckeyes are big noon, dude.
Buckeyes are big news. Okay, well, put them in prime time then. What are we doing? Right? It's the biggest game. It's top 10. It's top 10. Ranked teams.
Yep.
Why is it not prime time? But anyways, all right, 4 o'clock. That's cool. That's gonna be a good game to watch after the Buckeyes.
Yeah. So it's a 3 versus 4. Iowa's 3rd, Penn State 4th. That's a big one.
I hope for a close game either way. I think either way it doesn't matter to us because we're gonna we're gonna be playing them both. So keep it close. Get that low scoring game. Maybe a field goal wins it, touchdown late, and then they're both highly ranked when we get to play both of them. Still in the top 10. That'd be ideal for our track back to the playoffs.
Shawn, Iowa's quarterback is named Petterass.
Probably does well with the ladies.
Jesus.
Yeah. How do you see that one going, Shawn? You think Penn State can go into the corn country, pull it out?
Yeah, I mean, to me, they're both a little bit of paper tigers at this point. This is going to be, I think, both. This is a big boy game. I feel the first maybe for both these teams. I don't know. It's a toss-up, but I think it's going to be one of them low-scoring affairs, like Jeff was saying. I think that the top end is 20-17, and you could be looking at a 13-10 type of deal.
I like Iowa's rushing attack much better than Penn State's if we're going to go defensive struggle, ball control.
I haven't watched Iowa football. I'm just going by what I've been told.
Okay. Well, they got the Goodson kid for Iowa. He's got 430 yards of rushing so far, so almost 100 yards a week and 5 touchdowns. Clifford does have 1,300 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, 3 INTs. Petterass, not really lighting it up, 900 yards, 7 touchdowns, a pick. Noah Kane,
he's not a threat,
leading rusher.
He doesn't threaten me, though.
No, and they don't whip it around. I mean, it's Iowa. Noah Kane, though, he only has 187 yards on 3 touchdowns on the year as their leading rusher.
How many carries?
How many carries?
Yeah.
59. That's not a good average.
But yeah, right, but they run probably 3 different. They have him, Devin Ford, and then someone else.
Yeah,
I mean, it seems like they're running a three back rotation. I mean, look at our guys' carries, but look at the average per carry, and it's pretty good for all of our guys.
Right.
But I will say, Penn State, I think, has played a couple good defenses, especially good against the run.
Yeah.
Auburn
and Wisconsin early. That was early too, and I think Clifford looks better now than he did in Wisconsin game for sure.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that fucking Wisconsin secondary, dude. So let's go to, we got the Red River rivalry or shootout or pool party. I don't know what they're calling it nowadays.
Shit show.
OU versus Texas. We got OU favored by 3.5. Over under 63.5. This is going to be a worm burner. This is going to be I don't know. It could be a high scoring affair. They could blow that over under out of the water. I don't have a strong lean either direction, honestly.
I do.
I want to see Oklahoma lose. This is their probably best chance to lose. They've been squeaking by everybody. I feel if they can squeak by this one, now they start to worry me that they go undefeated and take a spot, which I don't think they deserve necessarily. So I'm hoping Texas wins.
Okay. Texas
and
just
that pains me to say that.
Yeah, Texas just squeaked out against TCU 32-27 over the weekend. Before that, they lit up Texas Tech 70-35. Then they beat Food.
One of the worst programs in the country.
They beat Food against Rice. They won 58-0.
They beat Food. I didn't know what you were saying there, bro. I was waiting for you to explain that. I did not catch it.
They lost to Arkansas though, so yeah. So I don't know.
And Arkansas just got exposed by a great defense.
Well, yeah. I mean, Arkansas is not going to come and take over the SEC all of a sudden.
Georgia's legit.
Georgia's defense.
I think so. Michigan -3 at Nebraska, over under a 51. So Michigan going on the road, Nebraska a home dog. Any hot takes on that one?
Yeah, Nebraska will shit the bed, and Michigan will win that game.
So same as it ever was.
Yeah.
Yeah, rinse, repeat, like what Shawn said. I had a great hot take on the Texas-Oklahoma game, but you wanted to just keep it moving, so that's fine. That's fine.
Make it quick.
Yeah. What's Michigan? What's Michigan's favorite? What's Michigan favored in this
3
over Nebraska? That's it. Michigan double digits. I don't see Nebraska. Nebraska will find a way. They can't have nice things. They can't. They fuck everything up. They're going to figure out a way to fuck this game up too. Harbaugh's going to go in there. I would say by 10 to 14. But it never be in question. I don't think Nebraska. They might score some points, but there's going to be no threat of them. I don't know what to say about that program. I don't know how Scott Frost has let that. They can't get out of their own way, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch. I can't watch them. I've given up on trying to watch a game of theirs. We're gonna. I don't know. Nebraska.
You want to root for Nebraska to be a legit team again, and gosh,
and they're so far away. They're so, like light years away.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I will never count on them or pick them. I have any confidence in them whatsoever.
Let me say, they are putting up 500 yards of offense per game.
Okay. All right.
Let me also say that was done against Illinois, Fordham, Buffalo, Oklahoma, and Michigan State and Northwestern.
I knew the shoe was dropping. I just had to get out of the way and waited for it. Yeah, exactly.
So
I can zero confidence in. I know Michigan can run the ball, and I know they can stop the run pretty good.
Well, we know this MO for Michigan is basically get a lead, and then if it's a shitty opponent, just fucking run it up on
maul them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have zero confidence in Nebraska can do anything other than what they've always done.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's fair.
Michigan to cover for sure.
All right, so let's roll out our first college football playoff top 4. If the playoffs were tomorrow. Jeff, let's start with you. Give me your top 4.
I really only have a top 2.
But they take 4, so.
If I were starting the playoffs right now, obviously we're taking Alabama, we're taking Georgia. The rest of the SEC can fuck off and go drown in the ocean, or cut them off and let them sink in the Gulf. I don't give a fuck. ACC, trash. Big 12, trash. We're going to go Oregon. Oregon just looked like dog shit against Stanford, but Oregon came into Columbus and beat us up. So we got to take Oregon. And with no SEC, no Big 12, no ACC, we got to go up to the Big 10. And who's my shining star in the Big 10? Who's
Nebraska.
our only beacon of hope in the Big 10?
Nebraska.
Our only beacon of hope. The number 11 ranked, or with Ohio State's 9 now, 8, whatever. Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Bama. Let's go.
You taking the Buckeyes with a loss, huh?
I'll fuck them undefeated teams because it's only a matter of time. I'll take Ohio State if I'm picking. I think Ohio State's better than anybody in the Big 10.
Ooh.
We have a loss, but you're right. It should go to Iowa. If you look all things considered, Iowa, Oregon, Georgia, Bama.
Okay. Shawn,
but I think Ohio State's better than anybody in the Big 10. So,
okay. Shawn, give me your top 4.
Well, I'm kind of with Jeff. To me, it is a top 2. I feel like Alabama and Georgia are the best teams in college football, and I think Georgia's might be the best. But I always feel, Georgia always fucks us up. So we'll see. So those are my top 2. If we're saying what would they be if the season ended today and where the teams were at, then I got to go. I would probably go to just the way the rankings are, Iowa and Penn State, but they're going to play, so that'll change. the way I think it's going to boil down at this point in the year, which I'm sure it'll probably change at some point. Obviously, if we lost again, it would. But I think it'll end up being Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, and Cincinnati in that playoff. Cincinnati.
I wasn't going what I think the playoffs will end up being. I was going as right now. That's a whole different ranking. I think the Final Four will end up right now.
Right now, you might just go undefeated conference champs then. I get too many of those. I think for the networks, what they would choose, I don't think they'd like two from the Big Ten. I think they'd rather an Oklahoma or an Oregon in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Which will probably.
I wasn't extrapolating it out to the end of the season. How I see it now. To the end of the season,
that's not it. Yeah, it's how the teams have done thus far, because you don't know if they're going to win or lose the rest of the season. They could lose 4 fucking games or something. How the teams are, how they looked right now. Who are your top 4 to go into the playoffs?
Yeah, Iowa, Oregon, Georgia, Bama.
Ohio State, Cincinnati, Alabama, Georgia. Not in that order.
Yeah. Wait, Jeff, you said 5 teams in there.
No, I didn't.
Bama, Georgia, Oregon, Ohio State. You said Iowa in there somewhere.
Iowa would deserve it being undefeated still.
Over.
Well, what about Penn State beating Auburn already, an SEC team, beating what was supposed to be a good Wisconsin?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's it. I mean, we could sit and dance around and argue it for hours. I think there's only 2 teams that have shown that they deserve it yet so far. That's Georgia and Alabama. But since we're making a list of 4 for the playoff, I think really only 2 teams have shown that they are legit. We should pencil them in right now. It's only 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I mean, really, I think everybody in the Big Ten has to prove it. I mean, we're gonna have to beat 2 top 10 teams still. Penn State's gonna have to beat 2 top 10 teams. Iowa's gonna have to beat 2 top 10 teams. I don't think any of the 3 of us have, even though they're 2 undefeated. I don't think they've shown that they're playoff worthy.
But Cincinnati right now is sitting at what, 5 or?
Cincinnati's got a hell of a resume.
Yeah, I'll give you my 4 right now. I got Bama, Georgia, Penn State, and Cincy. Definitely, Cincy is in.
Okay. Penn State?
Penn State is in. Not
Penn State
Iowa.
over Iowa.
Yep.
See, that's the
resume.
Game we're staring right around the corner at that game. Yep. But you figure like who's got the better resume? Iowa looked dominant with limited offense,
but garbage teams.
Garbage teams.
Iowa State sucks. Indiana
wins.
Sucks. Kent State, Colorado State, and Maryland. There's not a quality win.
Right.
I don't know.
They didn't look great at Colorado State. They didn't look great there.
Yeah, right. But Wisconsin's win. Wisconsin win doesn't look that good anymore for Penn State.
No, it doesn't. You're right. Even though it was on the road, it doesn't.
What's Auburn's record now?
I don't know.
They lost to LSU.
Yeah.
So
they're ranked 19th or 18th.
Yeah, that was their second loss.
Yeah. They actually moved up. They moved up 4 spots.
Of course
Jesus
they did.
Christ.
Of course they did.
Quality loss, Jeff.
SEC, bro.
Yeah. Florida lost, and they probably moved up.
Yeah.
Quality losses.
Your best
SEC schedule.
Your best win was that tight loss. That was your best win on his resume. Auburn will be 7-5.
But Cincinnati
8-4.
No one the rest of the year. They played their tough games.
Yep.
And now Cincinnati, I'd be amazed if they don't go undefeated. They've got a better chance of going undefeated, I bet you, than anybody in the country now.
Yeah.
I think
they should be number 3 almost.
They're going to play Memphis, UCF. I mean, do they have... UCF will be in the conference championship, I think.
Right. Yeah, they
play
Memphis
UCF in a couple of weeks, I think.
They could run the table easily here.
I mean, but nobody else in that conference is ranked, right? Memphis, none of them. Houston, right?
SMU's 24. I mean, that's it.
And they're probably not in the same. I don't even know. I have no idea what the the AAC breakdown is by division or nothing.
Oh, I have it. There are none.
I mean, really?
There's no divisions.
Old
Oh.
school.
All right, so they just, I don't know who all, they don't play all their conference members, though.
Houston's leading the conference in conference at 2-0, just because a lot of people haven't played.
Right.
So,
Right.
but Houston's 4-1 overall. SMU's 1-0 in conference, 5-0 overall. So those would probably be the two heavy hitters. You know.
Do they play both of them?
No, they don't have Houston. They do have SMU.
It's going to take multiple losses by other conference champions. That's what it's going to take. You're going to take a 2-loss Pac-12 champion, a 2-loss Big 12. You know what I mean? That's what it'll take for them to stay undefeated with that. Because Notre Dame might drop. Notre Dame doesn't have much of a tough schedule after this either, but they might drop another game or two. And then how good does that Notre Dame win look? It should look really good. On the road at Notre Dame, that's a big for anybody, that's a big win.
This Notre Dame schedule is trash too, honestly.
Yeah,
I put any Big Ten team against this schedule. They got fucking Vatech, USC, UNC, Navy, Virginia, Georgia Tech, and Stanford. This is garbage. Nobody's even ranked the rest of the year.
No, but
Before
5 years ago, that would have, looking at that schedule, that would have sounded pretty decent to me.
Oh yeah,
right.
They booked it. Yeah,
and even preseason, North Carolina was top 10 preseason.
Right? Yeah.
exactly.
Remember?
Yeah, I know.
And I don't know what the fuck.
That's why those preseason polls are trash.
They are, but they're trash, but it's a starting point.
I mean, I don't even see a quality win yet. They beat Wisconsin, and we just said Wisconsin is a piece of shit. We're not giving Penn State credit for that win, really, so you can't give Notre Dame credit. And they beat Florida State, Toledo, barely, Purdue, and then just got smoked by Cincy. So Notre Dame is definitely out of the playoff picture. There's no question. They're ranked 14
Yeah, I agree.
right now.
I agree.
And
They've
Of
got
course.
no road in unless but this is a crazy year, man. Look at, like you just said, how many teams in the top 5 of the top 11 lost?
12. 5 of the top 12, yeah.
Again, with your theory, the super seniors and some of these teams that can gel and the transfer portals and stuff, it's interesting.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, what are we got? What are we going? We're going to have 2 lost teams when winning, the conference championship games. That's what it'll take for Cincinnati or a 1-loss Notre Dame, because Notre Dame's only shot really is to stay undefeated. They can't do that. They're always out. But if you have a 1-loss Notre Dame and their only loss is to Cincinnati, who's still undefeated, stay, and then you have like I said, 2-loss Big 12, 2-loss Pac-12. 1-loss Big Ten, and maybe Georgia drops a game before Alabama, and then Alabama gives them their second loss, so then they would be ruled out. Because if Georgia's undefeated and Bama's undefeated, winner and loser, I think, both go. I think that's going to be set in stone almost. If they're going to be 1-2 in the country, and then they're both going to go to the
Assuming they both have 1 loss, yes.
Yeah. If they're both undefeated, and then the loser, I think the loser still goes.
Right.
I think that's set in stone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's. I mean, I don't think Notre Dame has a shot at all.
If
0.
it's a blowout,
Cincinnati
it wouldn't be.
takes them. It's going to take a lot of losses for Cincinnati to get in.
Yeah. We'll see. That's why they play the games.
If it's a blowout loss, I don't think they'd take them both necessarily, Jeff. It's like,
Yeah, that's a good point.
48-3, Bama over Georgia, or vice versa. I don't think they'd necessarily take that team.
I think Bama will get
okay.
will
If
get
you're-
a
if
little
you're
bit
talking
of
like
sympathy.
Yeah, I think Bama. I think a 48-3 though. Like, I wouldn't even fathom either those two teams playing and the score being 45-point difference. I can't see. I would love to see Georgia's defense give up 48 points, though. That would be awesome. And what the SEC fans would say after that. But yeah, that's super unlikely. But I see what you mean. If it's a 45-point difference in that game, yeah, maybe you don't take them both. But as of right now,
we just saw this, and then you have a good possibility to end up with that game again, and it was lopsided. Yeah, they'll be like, man, people won't be interested in that game.
No.
But remember, we're back dealing with humans. There's no more computers. So all these old ADs and all this shit, all these people that are on the playoff committee, they haven't met up yet. But they're watching all these games, and right now, all of them are seeing, hey, Georgia's got the best fucking defense in the country. They're phenomenal. So they're going to have that in their heads the whole season, Bama, Georgia, and until one of them lose, or if one of them loses, they're going to have those two like almost on a trajectory towards the playoff in their back of their mind, and then see how it shakes out with everybody else, I think.
Yeah. All right. Well, good show, boys. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we appreciate you. Like I mentioned earlier, keep an eye out for the T-shirt giveaway coming up. Hit the website. We have free shipping going on, and we will talk to you next week. Jeff, Shawn, appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Later.